Greetings, this is Jeff Chorpenning, a commentary on June 2nd, 2010. Recently I completed a public awareness project in regards to one of our zoning issues in Bowling Green Township, Licking County. I was asked to go through the video archive that I've created for this small project. What rightfully should have been a short few-minute YouTube video has grown into more than 30-minute documentary. This has been uploaded now online, and I've done it in one full segment. I'll post the URL here. So if you get an opportunity, please watch that documentary either before or after what I've got to say today. This is in regards to our township zoning, section 9.10, under signs. The story of the will-kern.com sign is the title of that documentary. I can comment on this from several perspectives, and here's why. First of all, as my observations being a very recent former trustee, having served for 4 years on the board, also trained in OTALA, which is the Ohio Township Association Leadership Academy. Second, my observations as an experienced Toastmaster, having studied and conducted workshops in proper parliamentary procedure and Robert's Rules of Order. Third, being a business owner in Licking County and in this township, Total Print Graphics is a company I started in 1988, and signs and sign making is a big part of what we do. 4, and probably most important, is that I am a resident in this township. I do believe that I'm qualified to have an opinion on this topic. I think the best place to start off here is strictly from an ethical and procedural perspective. This entire will-kern.com sign saga is wrong on so many levels. The most basic is the premise that everyone on a board has the right to know what is on the table and being discussed, and also to have an opportunity to be part of that discussion. It was only after that November of 2009 meeting when I got the details from Mr. Stepp and Mr. Kern of what had happened earlier that day as far as that sign, Mr. Duvall, and the zoning inspector who had filed a report on it and who continues to be the one initializing the new law. Not only did President Van Buren insist this being a non-issue in November, he clearly did not allow any discussion except from Duvall and the zoning inspector. Now let's go ahead and fast forward to this most recent May meeting. I was in attendance there as a resident with my video and audio recording to make sure history is recorded exactly as it went down. You will hear on the tape where I verbally requested the motion on the table be explained to the public. President Van Buren struggled through this entire process, especially when it came to amending his original motion. And clearly, he did not understand at all when it came to amending the amendment. Nevertheless, the fiscal officer did happen to read into the record what they actually voted on. And it was 3 yes, all 3 on the board, unanimous. When reading the final motion, Fiscal Officer Duvall did fail to include part of the discussion they had had, which was making a 30-day time frame for these signs that are not defined under 9.10 of the zoning resolution. One advantage of the 30-minute documentary, during the most recent meeting, the Township Zoning Inspector did read the list of permitted signs. So there are no excuses now for anybody on that board not hearing it if they chose not to read it. I'd like to talk a little bit now about some things that might be food for thought. They said that this was all about one sign. It was very clear. In my opinion, it was very arbitrary, very capricious, and very well defined when Mr. Watkins gets up and clarifies that he was, in fact, going after one sign. So what has occurred here is because of this one sign, a new law has been put into effect in our township. What the board has failed to do, being very short-sighted here, is looking at signs that already exist in our township. One question to put out there, is there such a thing as grandfathered signs? If so, the Will Kern sign perhaps has a grandfather clause to it. But